Ah, on entend pas.
Buonasera a tutti, buonasera a tutti, buonasera a Juan, buonasera a Alberto, buonasera a tutti.
Buonasera, buonasera.
Totti. Sì, Francesco Totti, sì, come va?
Okay.
Welcome everybody. I will talk. We will talk essentially in English tonight. Little French, very little Italian. Little French. Alors les Français, salut les Frenchies, les francophones. N'hésitez pas à poser des questions, à faire des petits commentaires. On sait qu'il y a quand même pas mal de fans de bande dessinée, de comics, de fans de VO aussi. Donc vous savez parler un minimum English. Donc n'hésitez pas. Don't worry. So Alberto, how are you tonight?
Hi. Hi everybody. Sorry, I forgot the question. How am I? Well,
The introduction.
the introduction. I'm already in trouble. Okay. No, yeah. Who am I? Well, I draw comics. I've been drawing comics for the last 30 years, so I can say I'm an old guy. Yeah, I mainly work for the American market. The story is very long, so I was forced to go to United States because in Italy nobody wanted uh, to do comics like we wanted to do. I started with some auto production, like independent comics in Italy with some friends of mine, and these comics were a bit weird, so nobody. People, the publishers were a bit scared about publishing them. So we went straight to United States, to San Diego during a comic convention in '96, I think. And we proposed our books to Dark Horse, and they accepted to publish them. And then we did several books with them. And after that, I started working for Image and Marvel and DC Comics, Vertigo especially. And well, kind of all the publishing house in the United States. I also work for some French publishers like Delcourt, Casterman, and now I'm publishing my stuff with Bliss Comics. And that's it. This is the short version, but 30 years. Yeah, I can go ahead. Yeah.
So, how did you discover drawing and comics?
Oh man, I started drawing when I was like 2 years old. My mother always remembered that I drew like a chair, la chaise, in perspective when I was 2 years old. So she was impressed, and everybody was impressed. So I mean, I wasn't a genius, but everybody say, "Oh wow, he draws very well." So probably that was the only thing I could do in a good way. So that's the reason why I kept drawing for all my life, because to draw is a way to communicate, it's a way to say something at the same time. And for me, I when I was a child, I tried to draw whatever I saw in my life. Also comics, also cartoons, also superheroes. I grew up with draws, and I discovered especially la bande dessinée when I was I don't know, in my 13s, 15s. Les humanoids, especially. So Moebius, Casas, Druillet, my favorite, Bilal, etc. So, but very different things at the same time, like superhero stuff from United States, the American market. I mean, to me, comics were a way to discover some new worlds. So I mean, of course, I used to read comics, and at the same time, I wanted to draw comics. I mean, I just wanted to draw in general, but comics looked like the best way to express myself, like with stories, etc. So uh, after that, I never stopped drawing, and when I was 20, I I I met some friends and we started to grow up together, like drawing, like explaining to each other how to fix some mistakes in anatomies, in perspective, etc. And we grew up together. And so after that, we tried to publish our stuff, and yeah, and that's it. And that's my story in some way.
Yeah, it's the beginning, and we will talk about that. Your artistic journey. It's a big question, the longest question.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
what has been your
uh,
artistic journey from
Wow,
beginning
I mean,
to
it's hard to remember, but I mean, after that,
the main
we have time. Yeah, I mean,
okay?
after that, I used to draw my own comics when I was a kid, like 14, 15, 16 years old. So I was fascinated by science fiction. I used to read a lot of books, science fiction books, when I was younger. To me, I mean, the sense of wonder was always something that I was fascinated with. Uh, so I especially wanted to invent new words, and comics were the best way to tell some stories. I have some, I don't know where, because I lost everything about my old works. I mean, it's in my house, but I don't know where actually. But I used to do some very stupid, naive stories of science fiction. I remember a guy who crashed in a planet, and then he rebuilt his starship in 2 days, like putting all the pieces together like a Lego or something like that, and then he could restart into the space. I mean, but at the same time, I was fascinated by stories like metaphysical stories. So uh, I was fascinated by religion and violence and the new words. So I tried to mix everything together. And when I found the the bande dessinée from by Casas, Mebius, Drouillet.
Les humanoïdes associés.
Yeah, Les Humanettes Associés. For me, it was the best discovery of my life, because I could find everything I was looking for into these comics. They were so savage at the same time, very free, very violent, very metaphysical at the same time. I mean, there was a lot of stuff to discover into these comics, and the sense of wonder was always amazing. So, uh, I mean, you know better than me, because I think you also grew up with this kind of stuff. And I mean, and then I mean, comics were like my life in those years. Comics were very famous, even in Italy. We have a big tradition in Italy, but I was always looking for this kind of stories, so foreign stories in some way. And then I discovered some Italian authors like Sergio Toppi or Dino Battaglia, or a lot of big master. Tanido Liberatore e Tamburini with Rank Xerox is one of my favorite comics ever. Uh, yeah, so I was trying to find some punk rock and roll way to do comics. So I was fascinated by this kind of artist, because in my imagination they used to have a rock and roll life, and then they tried to to tell stories that they witness in their real life in some way. So this is the best way to tell stories for me. I mean, just to have a life and then to tell what you lived in your own life. Uh, and so after that, we tried to publish our own comics. We were poor. We didn't have enough money, but we 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 have a small amount of money just to publish our first book, and the book sold pretty well. I mean, we didn't become rich, of course, but we could spend this money to publish another book and then another book, and that's it. And we were fascinated by freaks, mad people, wrong superpowers, whatever was ugly outside, but wonderful inside in some way. So we were fascinated by the yeah, I mean the um, like loser people, something like very incorrect. And our stories were okay for the public, but the publishers, especially in Italy, they weren't really happy with that because they they were looking for some traditional stories, and so our stories weren't very traditional. So we tried to save some money, and then I mean, making different works, and then. And then we went to America, to the United States, and the first time we went to San Diego, it was '96. It was almost just American people. I mean, not foreign people. It was one of the first convention where I mean, people didn't discover the possibility to go to the convention in the United States, probably. So we were like, oh my God, what can we do now? All our heroes were there, like I was fascinated by Simon Beasley and other British artists at that time. I was fascinated by Dark Horse because they used to have Mick Nola and Frank Miller and Geoff Darrow, pretty amazing artists. And yeah, I mean, DC Comics used to have Vertigo. I always was fascinated by adult comics, so Vertigo for me was very very interesting to visit. But we didn't know how to approach the editors because I mean, we barely speak bad English, so it's we were really lost in the space in this world, amazing world, but at the same time it was a bit scary because we didn't know what to do actually. So we did it the Italian way. So we broke every line and we we went straight to the editor, showing our stuff, yeah. And yeah, everybody was pretty enthusiastic. I remember in DC Comics, we went straight to the editor of Lobo Comics, and they say, "Oh my God, you guys are wonderful," blah blah blah. So we were already convicted that it was a deal. I mean, yeah, now we can start doing comics for the American market. Of course, it didn't go like that. I mean, we wait 1 year, just sending some new pages, just to show our work, and to see if our work could become better and better so they can publish it. And 1 year later, they actually let us do some colors from Lobo Comics, or Lobo versus the Mask Comics, something like that, crazy stuff. And I did my first cover for Lobo. And after that, we talked to Dark Horse, and because we came back to San Diego the next year, and we tried to propose our own comics, and they say, "Wow, why not? Let's try to publish them." and we were super happy because it was the first time that an Italian gang of people, of comic artists, could publish their own stuff in United States, in the American market. I don't think it was a big success, but it was a starting point. So after that, I split with my friends because everybody wanted to do something different. Um, Someone went to cinema, someone else went to graphics, etc. And I was I mean, I found myself alone in keeping doing comics. So I tried to send something to Image Comics, and then they started to make me work to Sam and Twitch with Brian Bendis. He was young. It was like, but he was having a big success, and so I just made 4 issues, and after that I went to Marvel. I did something like the Blade movie adaptation, and then I worked for Marvel Knights at that time. I think it was like 2002, and I started a new story about Captain America living in a world where Nazis won the Second World War. But I had to stop this project because there was a huge change in editorial people inside Marvel. So I left Marvel and I started working for Delcourt in France because I wanted to do a book that was really different from the superhero stuff. This book was called Starlight. It was about the two American cops. Ah, that exactly. That's it. It was like a cyberpunk mix with the 70s. Yeah.
Amazing angle, amazing. It's amazing. No, no, no,
Thank you,
it's
man.
amazing. I love it too much. This cover. I imagine how many times you take for this is incredible. Wow,
Thank
amazing,
you.
amazing.
Thank you so much. Of course, I was inspired by the French artist here, and I mean, I always try to mix my passion for the French bande dessinée with American comics, with and British comics, and some Italian comics too. So I always was in the wrong place because in Europe I was too much American. In America I was too much European. So I was just trying to mix everything just to make it work in a new wave. I mean, just for me.
But in Argentina we have a huge Italian heritage in graphic novel. Hugo Pratt himself
Oh yes,
himself went to Pan American School in Art in Buenos Aires. The 15 yeah, all the generation of good artists come from this Pan American school. Alberto Riso,
yeah.
Sampaio, Alberto Breccia, too. A lot of great artists come from the Pan American school, created by Hugo Pratt. He lived on Argentina.
Yeah, I think especially in those years, it was hard to propose a style that wasn't the typical style that people used to see, no? Because there was the French market, the Italian market, the American market, etc., the Argentinian market, and everybody uh, was playing with their own rules, so the specific style, specific kind of stories, etc. Now it's easier because we melt everything, so yeah, it's easier to propose something different. People are more open to that, but 20 years ago it wasn't like that. So I had to struggle a lot just to try to convince people that my style was, I mean, okay, I don't know. So, for example, Starlight was pretty unlucky because they stopped it at the first volume, the first tome. To me, the story was interesting. It was like humoristic, but science fiction too, and some violence, blah blah blah. But that's it. And the interesting things is that I try to propose this story to Dark Horse before proposing that to Delcourt. But they say we cannot because this kind of stories don't work in America. The characters have a subculture that don't sell a lot because Afro-American people, blah blah blah. It was really crazy to listen to that, but they were speaking about the business, of course, not about racism, etc. But at the same time, it was pretty shocking to me because I say, "Oh my God, are you serious?" I mean, it's just because of the characters. And they say yes because they don't buy comics, so people don't wouldn't understand this book. And so we left and we tried to do this in France. I was sure it was a story okay for the French market, but it wasn't like that because people didn't probably. I mean, people weren't curious about this book, or maybe I don't know. I don't know the. I just know that this was a failure, so we have to stop the book. But I was so sad because we put a lot of energy and a lot of work into that. I just wanted to surprise people with pages with tons of details, etc. I was sure that the French readers were okay with that because of Mebius, etc., Drouillet especially. But it wasn't like that. Probably they saw some people trying to act like a French artist and they didn't like it. I don't know. It's okay. It was a lesson to learn. You have to understand that when you do a story, you have to think about the story mainly, but after that, you have to respect the readers and try to do something that they can like in some way. So yeah, that's it. After that, I came back to United States and no, actually, I made another book for Caster, who was a sub label of Casterman, and the book was La Rage au Point. It was a book in 2006, I think. It was a book about the mixed martial arts. This is my second passion in my life, the combat sports. I'm always into that. I was making competition in French boxing, like Savat, and then kickboxing and etc. So I strongly wanted to tell a story about the mixed martial arts because at that time nobody was knowing that, and so I thought it was interesting to try to explain this new sport coming up to the readers, and so I made this book and I sent this book to some editors in Vertigo, and 1 year later they called me just to do the Unknown Soldier, the Soldat Inconnu, and I started working for Vertigo, and I worked for them like for 10 years, I think, something like that. Yeah, exactly. I knew Joshua Dizer, who is the writer, and we became close friends in the years. And so we worked together many years. We did a lot of books together, like Goodnight Paradise and L'Île aux Orques, and also some other stories about the war food program. So Joshua went to the war areas just to take documentation, and I drew all the stories. I mean, we have a special relationship. We like to work together, to spend time together. It's pretty interesting because every time Joshua writes me something about a story, I immediately understand what he wants to do. It's like we are just one person, and it's very easy to work like that because uh, it's easy to understand what he wants me to draw. I know what he wants to say, etc. And I love that because all the stories we do together have something political inside, but are also entertaining at the same time. So I think it's the best way to tell something interesting, entertaining people at the same time, so they are not boring, but at the same time you try to put in some political inside without being boring. Yeah, I mean that's after that, after Vertigo. I mean, I work a lot in Vertigo. I work with China Mieville, who is a science fiction writer. We did Dial H, and then oh my God, I don't remember what all the things I did, but yeah, um, I left Vertigo 10 years later because the deadlines were becoming a bit too much tight, and I was a bit tired of working and working all the time. Because to me, this is an interesting work when you can leave it in the right way. To me, you have to have a life, come back home, and try to communicate your life with the stories. But working all days without any pause, like even in Christmas, I spent some time in Christmas drawing because I was late with deadlines all the time.
And
Uh,
during Christmas, did you
yeah,
draw some stories, some Christmas stories?
no, not at all, not at all. I'm not the best guy to draw about Christmas stories.
Batman Christmas, Superman
Yeah, yeah.
Christmas,
I
X-Men
don't.
Christmas.
No, I think I never drew any. Yeah, no, I don't think I never draw anything about Christmas. Actually, I hate Christmas in some way. So yeah, wouldn't be a good idea to give me something for. Yeah,
You can do a strange weird Christmas.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. That's
You never do a Dylan dog. You never
no.
collaborate. Never.
Now, actually, if I have to be honest, I'm not really into superhero stuff. I just drew a Batman story because if they propose you a Batman stories, you cannot say no, thank you. But after that, yeah, I drew very few things in about superheroes. I don't know if Frankenstein could be a superhero story. I don't know. It's about monsters, but I accept to draw Frankenstein because Jeff Lemire was the writer, and I really love Jeff Lemire, and especially at the beginning he used to work with Dark Horse with Vertigo, sorry, while I was working on Unknown Soldier, and we exchanged some emails, and they say, "Oh, I love your work. I love you too." Blah blah blah. And then he wanted me to work for this Frankenstein story.
Nice.
So I was really happy, really happy. But it was for DC Comics, so the main label. So the audience again didn't know how to react to my art, because my art is always a bit uh, dirty, ugly in some way. I like to draw like that, but it's not for everybody, and I accept that. So if you work for the mainstream label, that could be a problem sometimes. So at the beginning they say, "Oh my God, this art sucks," blah blah blah, and after some issues, they started to say, "Oh, maybe I'm starting to understand what he wants to do, and I really like it." But I always have to struggle with the audience. I don't know why. people always want to find the same things in some way. When you try to surprise them, they are not really happy at the beginning. It's pretty crazy for me because I love to be surprised. I mean, it's entertainment. So if I can find something that I don't expect, I'm super
I,
happy.
yes, I agree with you because when I talk with different people who read
Yeah,
comics, in particular, I don't want to stigmatize or something like that, but Batman fans are fucking crazy. They always complaining. And they, oh,
yeah,
the story is not good, not good these days.
yeah, yeah,
It's always the same thing. And when there are different stories, oh no, it's too different, too much different. No, I don't like it.
to me
So
it's crazy. I mean,
with some exception from I now I can say maybe Absolute is an
yes,
exception. But it's a very good artistically and commercially, both way. But except Absolute, now there is a lot of discussion of problems about that.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, if you find a new way, a new art, a new story, a new kind of story, I mean, you should be just curious and try to read it, and then maybe you can have a judgment. But sometimes they are scared about the new things, and they just don't want them to don't want to open them, And this is something that it always happened in my life, artistic life. So I don't care actually. I don't want to go to do something especially for the people because I think it's okay to express yourself the, in a personal way. Uh, and at the same time, if the people who try to understand that, they never came back because probably you build a connection with the reader in some way. uh, if they don't stop uh, to the first layer of the art, everybody looks for beautiful art, but sometimes I mean, especially for me, art is great when communicates something, not when it's beautiful, because beautiful is just something decorative. But if some art can talk to your soul, that's the best art for me. I mean, I speak for myself, of course, as a reader,
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
but it's something that people have to. I mean, we need to educate the reader sometimes,
Yes.
because if we still do just what the reader wants, we always stay at the same level, and the art never improves. I mean, and I know it's just comics, but at the same time, comics can be an instrument, a tool to tell what all the kind of stories. So they can be also something interesting, not just entertaining or just people fighting other people. I mean, we are living in a crazy world. Sometimes it's good to tell something interesting in our stories because maybe people have to be educated a bit more, especially in this moment. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the reason why I never care too much about being loved by the readers. I mean, I try to do what I want to find as a reader. Sometimes I did it in a good way. Sometimes I did it in a bad way. But I always put all my soul into every work. That's for sure. So yeah. I mean, I'm happy about some work. I'm less happy about something I did in my past, but it happens. I mean, this is the work, so sometimes you have to accept something that you don't really like, but you try to do your best anyway. Yeah,
So, I think I read and listened to different things you say about your career, and
yeah,
it's interesting to talk with you. I I feel that you you work with the big two, DC, Marvel,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you but we understand that you are not very happy with that because you are not were not free to do exactly what you want.
Well, I mean, when I used to work to Vertigo, I was pretty happy, and I was happy to work with some writers. Sometimes, so you never know about the story. They just propose you a new project with that writer, and you say, "Oh wow, I like that writer. I will accept." And after that, you understand about the story. Sometimes the story is good. Sometimes you find that the story is not really what you want to do, but it's too late, and so you have to go ahead. Um but this is the way I used to work with them. I don't know if now something changed. So they were okay. Everybody was very nice. I never had any fight with anybody. But I started to be less happy the more and more I went ahead, and the pressure of deadlines, etc., was too much for me. I'm speaking for myself, of course, is for my style. So after 10 years of just working, I started to think maybe I'm wasting my life a bit. I mean, I'm earning money. I cannot spend it because I don't have time to spend it. So I cannot travel. I love to travel. I love to go into the world to meet new people, etc. But uh, I found myself always stuck at home, just working and working and working. Uh, I wasn't happy anymore with that. So I tried to, I mean, I left and I say no to some project like Batman and Robin, Hellblazer. I mean, it wasn't easy to say no. I have to, but at the same time, I knew I wanted to do something different. I mean, to find new challenges, to change, just to move. So I tried with the smaller publishing house, but they were okay. They were very professional. The stories were interesting, and I also started doing something for myself, like personal books, like Blatta, etc. Um, this is I mean, I like to put myself in danger sometimes. I mean, to try new challenges is very interesting because we are lucky doing this work. So for me, you have always to take care of the passion of doing comics. And for me, the best way is to try new directions sometimes, not just to sit down and doing always the same things. I don't know if that worked. It worked for me, of course. I need to be excited and a bit scared every time I start a new project. That means that I care about that, and for me, it's very important. Uh, yeah.
Yeah. So we can see some examples of what you did for the big two. We talk about Batman.
Yes.
Quickly, we can say just to see Batman. Uh, up. You did something with Green Lantern too.
Oh yes, I forgot. Yes, just one issue. Yeah, the bad guy of Green Lantern. I don't remember the name actually. I'm super ignorant with superheroes. But Black Hand. Sorry. Yeah, the story was about him. It was a one shot actually. I also did a couple of issues, maybe about something with all superheroes from DC Comics. I don't remember the
And
name.
from this,
Maybe Future's End. Exactly.
I
Bravo.
think
Bravo. Bravo. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have this, for example. I never saw it before. But yeah, yeah. Sometimes they just wanted me to do some fill-in stories, etc. I said yes, of course, because it was interesting to try every characters, etc. But I'm not really into superhero stuff, actually. I don't know, probably because I started learning comics with bande dessinée, and
Mm,
I really much prefer stories with something that
mm,
starts and finish, instead of having a character that lives for 70 years and they try to keep him alive all the time. Uh,
You did something with the Justice League too, maybe.
uh, no, I don't
No?
remember, but I don't think so. No, no. Oh my God. No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
But
but ask the question. Ask the question.
yeah,
And I
okay, 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 okay.
yeah,
Sorry, because okay, no, actually, no, I don't think so. I think my superheroes experience finished with Future's End and Black Hand and these two issues of
and,
Batman and
and
Marvel,
you
of
did
course.
you did you did
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Frankenstein. But Frankenstein is much more like a big video game, like a lot of monsters fighting other monsters in incredible planets. It was pretty funny to draw because Jeffrey Meyer is also an artist, so he immediately understood what I like to draw, and so he wrote stories just for giving me the pleasure of drawing this kind of stuff. So
mm,
it was pretty interesting to work together. Yeah, I mean, so I put a lot of energy into this book because I was really happy to do it. Yeah, and it lasted many issues. They changed the writer, Matt Kind, replaced Jeffrey Meyer. It was interesting too because they are very really close friends, so they write in a similar way in some way.
Yeah. And I found Animal Man.
Yeah, just one story, just one issue. It was the new 52, so I started with the Frankenstein, and I just did a fill-in in Animal Man, written by Jeffrey Meyer again. So it was pretty interesting. The story was pretty unusual. The artist, I don't remember the name, but the regular artist was really awesome. He had an incredible storytelling, and the art was really interesting, very original, very personal. So I was pretty excited to do this film because I mean I really admire the work they were doing here. It's like an horror story. It's not really a
mm.
superhero story. It's
Yeah.
pretty
It,
interesting.
right.
We live now with the superhero stories, and I found this too, stellar.
Oh my God. Okay, this is one of the my worst work ever. I forgot it.
You don't like. So we can imagine.
No, no,
Ah,
it's
Ah,
no, it's no. I mean, no. I mean, I don't want to hide my mistakes. This was in the very first years of 2000. I mean, the story was the art should be something very realistic. I
mm,
suck with realism, actually. I'm really bad with the realistic stuff.
very good.
So yeah, I felt very uncomfortable drawing this. I mean, it's just my fault, of course, not because of the story, not because of the publisher, but I really did a bad work. I have to be honest with myself and with you guys. Yeah.
Composition is good.
I mean,
It's good, huh? The composition is little good. No?
yeah, but no. Thank you.
No,
You are
no,
too good.
you
No,
don't
no,
like it.
no. Don't, don't be kind. Don't be kind. I know when I suck, so don't worry. Terrible, terrible work. And it's totally my fault. I'm not judging any other, but yeah, terrible, terrible. Oh my god.
Oh, it happens. That happens.
I made okay. I want to be totally honest. So I made two terrible comics in my life. One is this, and the other one is the Alias. I made it for the Disney, for the Italian label. From Disney. They made some mini series very many years ago, and one of them was Alias, who was the TV movie from J.J. Abrams. So I made a story, and oh my god, the art I did there was fucking horrible. So I always feel ashamed when I speak about that. So it's like a therapy now. I need to talk about that.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, because I need to heal.
Not so, I should say, not so alias.
You can talk maybe with the spirit of Jack Kirby.
Oh my God, Kirby! No, I mean Kirby is a hero, of course. Yeah, I mean he's another artist that I really love. I grew up with the Kirby stuff. I was in love with Kamandi when I was a kid, who was pretty weird, like a science fiction, post-apocalyptic fiction with you know the story about the Eternals, etc. I think he really had an incredible art style, very modern, very dynamic, and probably now too many people talk about Kirby, so I'm a bit tired of seeing him, but just because it's overexposed, But I mean, he's one of my heroes. I mean, I grew up with him too, so yeah. All these artists like Kirby, the French artist, some American artists, but also Italian artists from the 70s, the 60s. For me, they are really interesting because they really put some research
Yeah.
into their art, and they are modern even now, so they're still modern, they're still really interesting, because you can see all the path they did to improve their art skill and to become something really personal. And when you are so personal, there isn't I mean, you never go out of fashion, you can
For
be
example,
modern. Yeah, I mean, you are always
Dino Battaglia, for example, Dino Battaglia.
Battaglia. Topi is for me is incredible. I remember I was in at the DC Comics many years ago, and one of the editors said, "Oh my God, if you can contact Sergio Topi, tells him he can do whatever he wants here." And they say, "Oh my God." He never tried. He was so humble in all his life. Always say, "Oh, don't call me master, please." Blah blah blah. I say, how can I? How should I call you? I mean, you are incredible.
Topi.
But it's another,
Another level.
other cultures. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Crazy. Anyway.
Ouais. Il y a aussi Barbarella. You know Barbarella?
Yeah, sure. I don't know where Barbarella is French, right? I saw
Yes.
some original pages this year. I think in Grenoble there was an exhibition of different art.
Egyptians, yeah.
Oh my God, the pages are like giant
Yeah,
pages,
yeah.
crazy pages.
They work in big format.
Crazy, like I
Yeah,
mean, like
my my master was
yeah.
Julio Rivera.
Oh wow,
Orlando. Yes, was my friend.
yeah,
Then this was my friend and my master too. Rivera is his original pages is
crazy. Yes, I know. I
yeah.
don't know.
Master, how you do this? It's impossible for me to do the pages like this because I am habituate like little pages. He work like architect pages It's
Oh, crazy, crazy. They were incredible because now, I mean, even me, sometimes I work in digital, and that's crazy because in the past, pages were like big as my house, you
yeah,
know, and
but
now we work in a
well,
surface like
it's
this.
but for you have the same, it's a smaller page in a Stratford page. What's the name you use in comic books? A Stratford is with the bleed, with the time, it's a
Oh,
page.
yes.
It's
Uh,
I don't remember the name of
oh my
the.
God.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
I don't think I understood because sometimes I hear you. Not, I don't hear you well, sorry, because of the
Yeah.
volume. But sorry, can you repeat the question about the
The,
pages?
the page is the format page on US. The
Yes,
publisher impose, I don't know, impose, he forces the artist to draw in some
yes,
little format.
yes,
So
yes, yes, exactly. Sorry, I didn't
I
understand.
don't remember the name from the Marcos page, name of page.
The template,
The
maybe.
template, yeah,
Yeah,
template is still.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
we Italian and French, we have the same size,
yeah,
so we are similar. They
yeah,
have a different kind of page. The
yeah,
template
yeah,
is much more vertical, and
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, it changed a bit the way of working, of course, because you have a different kind of proportions into the page. Uh, well, actually, yeah, and it's not really different. I mean, you just try to take advantage of the specific characteristic of the page. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I prefer the European sites, for
yeah. It
example.
was
Yeah,
cinematographic, more larger.
perfetto.
Mm,
And also I like when comics can breathe a bit, like with the panels, etc. Sometimes the American comics are really dense of
mm,
many panels
mm.
mixed with between them. Uh, but it's okay. I mean, it's you can like both. It depends from what you want to tell, of course.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's the European format is better for the specific story, and sometimes the American works in a good way. It's pretty interesting to change. I don't see it as a problem. It's just a different way of approaching the work, but it's okay. It's okay. But for example, the print format, the American comics are smaller than the French comics, for
yeah,
example. So
mm,
uh, when you know that if you work for a French publisher, you can make panels, bigger panels, and so you can make the draw to breathe better. While you draw for the American, you know that everything will be smaller, so you have to concentrate art. It's much more dynamic, but a bit less atmospheric. So every format has his own specific characteristic too. Yeah.
So we can talk now about more recent comics after the superhero era,
Yeah.
for example.
Oh yes, exactly. This is another work I did with Joshua Dizer. We work for the World Food Program, who is an association who uh, brings food in the war areas, so in countries where they are suffering because of the war, etc. So they take care of food, medicine, etc. And they wanted us to tell some stories, just uh, to tell the people how they work in these places. And to do that, they let Joshua to travel with them in the war area, like Iraq, South Sudan, etc. and he could take some pictures to talk to the people, and then when he came back in United States, we tried to exchange email. He tried to explain to me what he saw, and he sent me many pictures, many photos, etc. And so we tried to work exactly when we work for Unknown Soldier. It's pretty interesting because he tried to tell stories about people, normal people, in the middle of a war. So he humanized a lot the people. This way, the reader can empathize with the normal people, like we are these people. This is the best way to understand the brutality of a war, because you understand that people are living a normal life until something terrible happens, like war, like famine, etc. And I remember that Joshua was pretty shocked by something that he saw in those places. So he tried to put all this emotion into the story. And as usual, for me, every time he writes something, I'm in love with his stories, because it's really empathic with his characters, and you can feel all the love, the suffering of this character, and you become the character in some way. So yeah, it was a interesting work, and I hope we can continue this collaboration in the future with the Word program. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it will be cool, interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Oh, this one is good.
And
Paradise.
the mix with Joshua.
Yeah, it's another one. It's a very important project. We discussed about this project when we were together in Algeria during a comic convention, uh, and it's a story about. Yeah, I mean, it's a crime story, but actually, the crime is an excuse to talk about the homeless community in Los Angeles. Uh, could be homeless community wherever in the world, of course, but he lives in Los Angeles, and in Los Angeles there is a huge area, the Skid Row quarter, where during the day is a business quarter. During the night, it transformed completely in a huge homeless camp. So I went to find Joshua in Los Angeles, and we spent a lot of days among the homeless community during the night, etc., just to talk to them and to understand their stories. So, because I told you, I mean, the best is when you can really live what you want to tell.
Mm.
So the best way is to know the people straight, talking to them, and we stay with some communities that just to give them, I don't know, some socks, for example, food, blah blah blah, and this way we could talk to a lot of homeless people, listening to terrible stories, interesting stories too, but really shocking stories. And they were so happy that someone was listening to them. So they were really open to tell us everything, too much
The,
sometimes.
the cover is great. It's great. The compositing is great. Wow.
Thank you, man.
The color is what? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
impressive.
Oh,
It's,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
your inspiration for this cover?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. It's just surrealistic. I mean, this is one of the typical trees that you can find in Los Angeles. But Los Angeles was burning because actually Joshua was talking about the gentrification in Los Angeles. So the city is trying to kick all the homeless people off the city just to let rich people to come in. So this fire is just a metaphorical way to show a city who is changing, but in a bad way for some reason, and losing control of their identity at the same time. So for me, it was important to show something metaphorical, surrealistic, but at the same time, it's enough to understand what we want to say, what we want to tell in the story in some way. It's not about crime. The crime is an excuse. It's just the entertaining part, just to drive the people to through the story, the real story, which is the story about homeless people. Yeah, I mean it's pretty interesting because also Joshua told in some interview that
Okay.
some part of the story as also autobiographic. So it's pretty shocking and interesting at the
Yeah.
same time. Yeah,
Wow. I love it.
yeah, yeah,
I love it.
So now we are going to see another kind of story,
yeah.
a crazy story with a
Oh my
big
God.
monster, with a big monster from Japan.
Oh yes, 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 yes. Oh yes. Okay, this is another story that I couldn't refuse because I'm a huge fan of Godzilla. I grew up with Godzilla character, and I did this in 2012, so 10, 14 years ago, and it was pretty interesting. Godzilla is a monster that destroys everything, so what is I mean it's so funny to draw. uh, of course is a Japanese character, so is a licensing character, so Japanese always sent me email to fix some little mistakes on the shape of Godzilla, but these emails were so kind every time, so nice, like, oh come on, we apologize for disturbing you and again blah blah blah. But and 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 the correction were something crazy, like the third finger of your his left hand could be a bit shorter, please. And I didn't notice that, of course. I mean, it's just a nail. Uh, but they were so nice that it was a pleasure to read them. So I always re- made the correct everything with a smile. Of course, you don't have total freedom because the licensing characters
Yeah.
have have to respect something specific. But I mean, at the end, it's about Godzilla destroying buildings, so I like that, and monster everywhere. Yeah, it was pretty
Wow.
interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I forgot what I did. Sorry. So
No, it's normal. No matter
You,
uh,
what.
you, you drew a lot of things, you did a lot of things. It's normal.
yeah, I mean it's also dementia because I'm becoming older and older, so I forget.
It can be a good story for Christmas.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah. Why not? If I remember if I
Yeah.
remember to tell it. Yeah.
So we
Anyway.
can talk about very recent works because I think you don't forget this.
Yeah.
For example,
Let's see.
Orchidland, L'Illusory,
Oh yes, it's
Ah,
again with Joshua.
Joshua
wow.
too.
Guys,
My
I love
God,
to work
wow.
with Joshua, and I mean, the older I go, I would just want to work with just one, two, or three writers because I love them so much. Because I love to have a relationship, a human relationship with the writer. So Joshua is really a friend of me, and we try to invent this story together. It's a story about capitalism, even if it's a fantasy, but
Wow.
it's pretty interesting because uh, nobody is good guy and nobody is the bad guy in this story. Everybody are is okay, but something destroys their way of life, and so they can become evil or good. It depends from the money, the power, etc. So we try to do a story, a fantasy story, which is a dark fantasy story,
Mm.
and I I tried to do the best I could. I retook all my book from Druillet. I thought it was the best way to tell this kind of story was to put everything like details, like bad people, like horrible monsters, etc. Everything into this book, and we strongly wanted Matt to color all the book in a psychedelic way, in some way. So
Cover is I
yeah,
know amazing cover.
yeah.
You
I mean,
you
he,
are influenced with Frazetta a little. Frazetta in comics.
yeah, it's also,
Because
you know,
Frazetta have do choice. Frazetta in painting and Frazetta in comic book.
yeah, of course, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, we discussed a lot with Matt because we really wanted a specific way of coloring. So at the beginning, he didn't understand what we wanted. So we had to make him recolor some pages a few times. It was I mean, I'm not sure it was happy about that, but at the end he did an amazing work and colors. For the first time in my life, I really love colors in the book I drew.
It's
Uh,
a
yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, this is the last story I did together with Joshua. So we have some project for the future, but we didn't really discuss that because now everybody is doing separate works. So let's see what happens in the future. But I really love this story. I'm super. It was super funny to draw it and I had total freedom. Joshua didn't write page per page. He just tried to do something different and gave me total freedom to interpret the story visually. So it was a new way of working together. I can do this only with him because we know each other very well. But it was an experiment, and I think it worked. I mean, the story to me, the story is pretty interesting. I always recommend this book.
yeah.
Okay.
I can show. I can
Everybody.
show the book. Up.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
that's it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the covers are from Luis La Rosa. Is an incredibly talented artist. I love him.
oh,
He's also a nice guy. I mean,
wow.
really
I,
cool
I,
people.
I will buy
I,
it.
I don't. I don't spoil. I don't spoil the story, but I can show some images. You talk about, for example, about Druillet and all this kind of sci-fi. For
Yeah,
example, this type of drawings with the
Wow.
perspective. It
yeah, yeah.
reminds
Wow.
this
Wow.
kind of works. Druillet, for
Oh yes.
Okaza, Mobius.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they are my masters.
We can see well different things quickly,
Wow.
and some images reminds fantasy. Fantasy, bah, you say Simon Bisley, Frank Frazetta.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's funny to mix different kind of artists because Beasley mixed with Möbius, mixed with Rouillet. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's an experiment, but why not?
So it reminds me a little Arzak with the
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Arzak
mean,
from Mobius.
I did. I didn't look at Arzak doing this book, but you know, it's something
Ah,
that stay in your mind forever, and in some way, it comes out without noticing. You know.
about Arzak. I can show something. I have something. There.
Surprise.
Oh wow, okay. I know that. Yes. It's a masterpiece. One of the best book ever. Yeah,
Wow.
crazy. Crazy.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Master.
Everything is good. Huh? We can
Oh
say.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
The
You can,
Bible,
I mean,
the Bible, the Bible, the Bible. There is the Bible.
every page is
Yeah,
perfect. So
yeah.
yeah, you don't have to choose. Whatever you choose is okay. It's
We are
crazy.
really out it. It's the Bible of graphic novel.
Yeah.
Uh, we we can came back to Orc Island, l'île aux orques.
Yeah.
I, I can show dédicace, dédicace,
Huh?
a drawing from Alberto.
Oh yes, it's me.
It's not an
Wow,
Annie, it's Alberto
nice,
who draw this.
Ah, yeah, it's me. It's me. I remember that.
nice, 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 very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, where we met, I don't remember.
For l'île aux orques, it was in Chambéry with Joshua Dysart.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
When Joshua was here, it was in the center of Chambéry at
Yeah.
Momy Chambéry. Momy.
Momisha, yeah, yeah, I remember. I perfectly remember that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Oh my God.
And we can talk about a more recent story, but a, a book recent but ancient too, called
Yes,
All New
yes,
Blata.
yes, exactly. Yeah, this is a book I did several years ago, but it's a personal book. So I drew and written the story, wrote the story. Uh, it's something that I strongly wanted to publish in France because this story is very important for me. It talks about the existence, about uh, taking on responsibilities in life, etc.
Mm,
And it's a black and white. I love black and white, but I never have the possibility to draw something in black and white because American market is especially oriented in colors,
mm.
even French market in some way. So I try to do something that I really like, putting all this grace into a story. I mean, it's a word that I really love to to tell. And I was pretty scared about publish this in France because French comics have such a big culture and uh, all the French culture have a big respect for comics. So I was scared. I mean, about the judgment, also because I did the story, and the story is pretty weird. It's a very quick story to read. You can read the book in 5 minutes, but you can come back and take your time, leaving the panels like you
Wow,
are the
very
character,
nice,
etc. So
very
yeah,
nice.
for me, yeah, it's a very important book for me, of course. Uh, I was pretty nervous, but it's sold out, so it was okay. I mean, people liked it. Yeah, so it was an experiment. I wanted to check about the reader's opinion because I'm doing another book by myself. So I said to myself, if Blatta goes well, I will go ahead with other project like this. So now I'm forced to go ahead. So so I'm doing another one. It's not Blatta, of course. It's something different. It's kind of a fantasy, but it talks about the talent and the responsibility to have a talent in life. I mean, a generic talent, like whatever. Everybody has his own talent,
Right.
and yeah, I mean, maybe next
I,
year.
And
I fascinate with your spaces when you use your low color. You, the composition and spaces you use, fascinating. We are focused you are focused. I focus is in the character.
Thank you.
That's very nice.
Thank you for.
The catch the age. We say, oh, yeah, really easy to read and functional.
Oh, yeah, I thank you for this comment because I really care about the composition, especially the using the empty space. It sometimes it's hard. I mean, especially when I work for the American market, it's hard to have this space. So I cannot play this way, but when I can be free to do whatever I want, I always try to use this. I like this. I mean, I love picture. I love photography in general, and the composition in photos are really about empty and full spaces.
Yeah.
So yeah,
White,
yeah, exactly. And then I think I mean, I like the cover when they are simple, not too busy about details, etc. So this one, like Goodnight Paradise, are cover that with just one element, but to me is important that I mean the empty space is also something that tells something at the same time in a way. So yeah. Oh, thank you.
Oh, I know.
Thank you so much.
I can show
Champion.
data.
Letter. Well. Show me, please. Show me, please. I want to see.
Some pages, not little spoil.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No worry.
Just to see his drawing.
Wow.
Yeah, the book is about claustrophobia in the first part and agoraphobic in the second part. So, yeah.
That's nice.
Thank you.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You're liking.
And dédicace too.
It
was in Excalibur, in Chambéry, but
yeah.
Excalibur.
First dedicace in Excalibur. I'm the first one. Yeah.
Very nice. Oh my god, very nice.
The main character
very nice.
of the story.
Yeah, I mean, just two characters in the story, so yeah.
No pencil, only inking.
And only inking, yeah.
Wow.
When I do dedicas, I just go straight to the inks because I know the character, so it's easier, of course, to draw, and it's also faster because sometimes. Yeah, you have to be fast sometimes. So, but it's like I like to draw like just with inks. It's like when you climb a wall without the rope. You know, if you make a mistake, you fall down and you die. So
it's very very tough to write.
yeah, it's pretty adrenalinic to draw like that. Yeah. Yeah.
So we talk. We have the time to talk about your artistic journey. Like I said, it was the big question, the longest question. We're gonna talk about your current and future projects, of course.
Yeah.
But before, I want to ask you a question. You talk a little about that.
Yeah.
Who are your reference and favorite artists? And
oh my God,
that change over time. You say
well,
some names, but you can add others. You can develop if you want.
I have many. I mean, it's impossible to have just one. No, I mean, let's say, I mean, to me, it's important to have different artists that you love because it's when you mix them together, if it's just one, you probably will draw like the
Yeah,
one you like.
you risk to be a copycat or something.
Yeah, exactly. If you have two, it's easier to do something interesting. But if you have five, six, seven, you become yourself because you need to find a balance between all of them, and this balance is given by your sensibility. So you become something different. Say that. I mean, as I said, I love Drouillet. I love Casas. I love Möbius. I love Toppi and Battaglia. But I love too also Mignola and
Wow.
Beasley. Simon Beasley is for his energy, etc. I love Liberatore for his, the rendering of his draw. I love Geoff Darrow for the details. He was an assistant of Moebius, and you can see that in his art. I love Munoz for the blacks.
Me
And
too.
Breccia, of
Breccia,
course,
oh,
is one
yeah,
of.
so Breccia.
I
Master.
mean, Breccia for the experiment, because every
Yeah,
book was
yeah.
different. And to me, this is another important part of the work.
Mm.
Every time I do a new book, I try to change something in my style because, yeah, to make it fit with the story. And then I'm for sure I'm forgetting someone because I suck with remember all what I like. But I have to say that I also look a lot to the cinema and to the photography and to the art in general, not just comic artists, because it's easier to mix different things and try to put them together to build your own style. So I love movies, directors, so many. I can, I don't know, from Kubrick to Jeunet Caro. I don't know. I'm forgetting now because really it's hard to remember, but so many. A lot of Japanese stuff like Mike Takashi, Tsukamoto, etc. And I love to mix all of them. Also, I don't know, everything. In photography, I like Whitkins and Serrano and other photographers that are really interesting because they are so graphical. Uh, I don't know. It's to me the secret is just to be curious and open to everything. Even when you go out and you just walk in a street, you can see things without paying any notice, and you can observe things, just learning something all the time. Observe people, observe, I don't know, what the panorama, etc., and try to put all of this sensation, this feeling into your art. I mean, this is my goal, of course. I'm not saying that I'm a genius.
Bravissimo, bravissimo.
It's
No, no,
a it's a good
it's
transition. It's a good transition for the next question. What
okay. What would you?
what would you
Oh,
advise recommend to read?
oh my God. Okay, I won't recommend the one book. I will say this: just go to the shop and be open to whatever you meet. I saw too many people just go into a shop just to buy a manga without looking around to what was in a manga, or I don't know, the same example for, I don't know, superhero book, whatever. Uh, just open everything, just be curious, just try something that you never read before, and just try to surprise yourself. This is the best way to improve your passion, and also a work. I don't know. It's the best way to be curious. Now, to be curious is a talent because it's so rare to stay open and just try to be surprised to something that you don't expect. I think people should be less scared about looking for something different. I mean, it's so interesting, and also makes you become a better person because you can improve, you can learn something different, you can be a different person for one day, and just to, I don't know, to be more empathic with the other. So I don't have any specific book. Of course, I have some books that I love, like Xerox, Arzak, whatever. I don't remember. Uh, but to me, the secret is that, I mean, if I go to a shop, to a bookshop, I want to stay there for 1 hour looking at whatever and try to understand what I can find that could be interesting, even if I didn't look for that. You know what I mean? It's really important to just to yeah to look for everything, to be open. For me, is a rule. As a professional, I do the same. Um, if I draw a comic, I just don't look at the comics. I just look at the movies, like a video game, listen to some music. Even music helps you a lot. Uh, art, whatever. I don't know, whatever. I mean, you have to find inspiration by everything, not just what you already like. Otherwise, you never improve. Even as a human person, I mean, not just a professional.
Okay. And you talk
Sorry, I deluded because I didn't give you any title. Sorry.
no, it's a game. It's a game.
Okay, okay.
And about art,
Ah,
your
Oh,
definition of art. You talk
oh,
about art.
for me, the art is something that you meet when you go outside and you come back home different, as a different person. I don't know if I translated in a good way. But yeah, it's something that shock you, that pose you some new questions. So you come back home with the new questions, uh, and every question is important because it moves you ahead. You know, to answer the question, you have to live, you have to improve, you have to listen, you have to understand. So you become a better person. So art is that. I mean, something that give you questions, new questions. Uh, yeah.
And a question, little different question.
Okay.
What is your definition of your art?
Oh, a mess, a mess, just a mess. I mean, like I am. I try to. How can I say in English? I want people to feel what I draw in some way. I want people to become my characters. So I don't care, as I said, I don't care if my character is a beautiful character, like technically beautiful. I want my character to be communicative. So my definition of art is just, I mean, I draw to communicate because I was shy when I was younger, and I drew instead of speaking. So my definition of art is to connect with the other people, to communicate with people. That's it. I don't know if makes sense, but yeah, I think that.
Okay. And come back to the projects, to the comics. What are your
Well,
current and future projects?
I'm doing this book, personal book, Exorcism on Jupiter is his name, and I also working for Image Comics to a spin-off of Exquisite Corpses. I don't know if you know this.
Yes,
Uh,
with the captain of the fleet.
Yeah, so I'm working to a new story about this world. I started today, so it's a future project because I have several pages to do. So from today until probably next year, and that's it for now. I'm not working too many things. I'm becoming old, so I prefer to choose a few projects per time and to take care of them.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah,
Even
yeah, for me
if
too.
Yeah, yeah. I think for different artists, we do talk about comics, but we can talk about different types of arts.
Yeah.
But I have some comics, some artists in mind. If you have time, if you have the time to do what you do, you can do a better work. You can do what
Yes. Yes.
you can approach more approach what you really want to do. For ex- for example, I can I say some names? For example, I saw what Silvestri has done for Batman.
Mhm.
It took
Yes.
many years to do that, but it's okay. You have the time.
Yeah.
Don't have deadline. Hey, you have to 1 year and stop. No, do what you
Yeah.
want. It takes the time, and the drawing is very beautiful, very beautiful.
Yeah, comics are an industry, so sometimes you have to fight with deadlines because, of course, they have to produce. It's normal, but as you said, when you have time to take care of any details, any part of the job with love and passion and time, of course you do something important. I used to be a very fast artist, especially at the beginning. I used to draw kind of 3 or maybe 4 pages per day. It was
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, it was crazy, but of course
Yeah.
I did a lot of mistakes because
Yeah.
I love to be fast because I want my my hand to go at the same speed of my mind. So yeah, I try to do that. But now I prefer to be slow and to take care of every details.
Small
And
technical.
it's better. I mean, it's much better, of course. But this is a perfect world. I mean,
Mm.
and after that there is the industry. So
Mm.
yeah, you have to fight with deadlines all the time in some way.
When you younger, you were in some way fast and furious.
Oh yes, because yeah, for me it was yeah. I mean, there I love that kind of skills. I mean, I was in combat sports, so I want to show this kind of energy into the art. So the art had to be very fast and hard so yes, I try to show this kind of feeling in my art. Now I want to stay a bit calmer and I just want to contemplate the space like you say before. I mean, I want to contemplate the empty spaces and the composition.
Yeah.
Much more than the dynamic, etc., that I used to do when I was younger. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, you change with your art because
Yeah.
art represents you in some way. So it's a business card.
Mm.
I show myself with my art, and so it's okay to be honest with what you are now and to change it a bit. Yeah,
Now you show your experience, your
yeah,
your yeah, your the one you just start is more like I must show something. Now you have a good and clear a huge experience, and now you can take time to push some character in case try new MPs, try new technique, try a lot of things
exactly,
that you have
exactly.
technically in anatomy you understand that thing in anatomy you understand all things probably in the past you don't have this technique.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, some mistakes were because I just didn't care about paying attention to everything to be perfectly
Mm.
drawn, etc. I just had the urgence of drawing like
Yeah.
some animation, something animated in some
Mm.
way. In my mind, now I want everything to stay a bit calmer and a bit contemplative. I don't know. I like some silence in my art. maybe because there is too much noise in the world, so comics are a safe place when you can get some silence again, and to have a better connection with yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. We talk about projects, so about comics, but do you have would you like to have some projects of adaptations of comics for cinema, for series, for
Ah,
animated series, or other types of media?
well, Blatter was I mean, yeah, they were trying to do something in the past, but after that everything stopped. If I have to be honest, I don't really like. I'm not really interested in transforming a comic book into a movie, because I think a comic book has its own characteristic, has its own specifics. It works in a comics because I thought about that as a comic book. Every time you try to translate it into a movie, yeah, of course it's interesting because people are curious about seeing the characters to be alive, special effects, animation, etc. But to me, it's also always a reduction of an original work, and I hate when comics are specifically made just to be translated in movies. And today is pretty, this happens a lot. You try to do a comic book and you hope it becomes a movie. So you already write the comic book as a script for a TV movie. I hate that because you are not using the characteristic of a comic book, and this book is not interesting. I mean, of course, is done because you want to get the attention from the producers and to become a movie and become rich and blah 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 blah. It's okay, it's business, but if I love to do comics, so I just want to do a comic book that can exist like in this only in that form. Uh, if you use the language of comic book, you have tons and tons of characteristics that are hard to be translated in a movie. Uh, you can have all the special effects you want without paying any money, just having some talent to draw them or to tell them. Uh, it's very interesting. You can use the page, the composition of a page in a way that a movie cannot do because it's just a panel. The screen is a panel. It's always the same. Of course, you can animate whatever you want inside, but how much beautiful is a page with a lot of panels that create a rhythm, create a story without moving anything. I mean, it's magic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
When
my
you talk
opinion. Huh?
yeah. It's understandable. When we talk about that, I think I talk again about absolute. So I think about
Yes,
absolute. As for example, I really my favorite. It's absolute Wonder Woman. I think it's impossible to do a good adaptation from the
exactly.
screenplay because of the composition. And on another example, Martian Manhunter. Some crazy ideas you can't do on the TV, on the
Yes,
paper, but not you can do the same thing on the TV. So I don't spoil it. Don't spoil, but some crazy good ideas. They use the media. They use the media.
and I mean, is there also a way to keep a comic book alive? I mean, if you do a comic book without worrying about a TV movie translation, you do something really, really different, and this makes the comic book something that can be live for a lot of years in the future. But if you do something like a TV movie, of course you lose because you don't have the sound, you don't have animation, but you build it in a way like it's like a movie for I mean, a low budget movie. I don't know. I don't know how to translate that, but it's not interesting. I mean, I go to the cinema. I don't care about the comic book because there is nothing interesting into that. So yeah, I mean, that's my opinion. But I mean, I'm curious. I look at some translation in TV movie or movies, etc. Because I'm curious, but usually I'm deluded by that. I,
It depends. It depends of the comics, of course. Of course,
yeah, of course, of course,
the type of comics
absolutely.
and how the comics was done. Like you say, it
Yes,
depends. Depends. So
yeah.
we are we can see again some books, recent comics, L'île aux orques, Blata. Donc si en France, I will talk little French. Donc en France, si vous
Bye,
n'avez
bye.
pas encore lu, profitez-en. Voilà, c'est chez Bliss Edition. And come back to English. And I would like to know something about your this Worm Fusion.
Oh yes, sure.
Where is the project now? It's published distillery in to distillery.
Yes, it's finished. It's a mini series. It's finished earlier at the end of the last year. It should. I hope it will be translated in French because I know that the Cour has the how do you say the exclusive for distillery. I don't know if will happen, of course, but I hope that. And I work with Scott Hoffman, who is a guy who plays in an American band. It's called Sister Sisters, and he contacted me because he strongly wanted to do some comic book. He was so humble in trying to learn how to do a writer, and he actually uh, wrote a very interesting story. It's a cyberpunk story in some way with there is a lot of interesting stuff inside. I tried to draw that in a different way, so very dark, very dirty, etc. It was pretty interesting to work with him. It's 3 issues, I think, if I well remember. It's a futuristic war like cyberpunk. I don't know if you know the cyberpunk 2077 is a video game now. But I love the cyberpunk atmospheres in general. So it was pretty interesting to work with this. Yeah, the story is finished. Should be uh, uh, sell in July as a paperback, and I really hope they will translate it in France too. I don't know anything about that, but I really hope that.
We can talk to this with Delcourt. Maybe you know.
Yeah,
Maybe you know Thierry Mornay.
yeah, absolutely. I think he take care of this kind of stuff. So I really hope they will decide to publish it. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Thierry Mornay do real very good work with Delcourt. I will talk.
Yes.
I will talk to him soon. I think. So you
Oh,
can
wow.
you
Ask
can
him.
talk. I will say, hey, I like your, yeah, what you did, the World of Hellboy, okay, it's okay, Rocketeer, okay, and what about World Fusion, Destiny?
Why not work together?
They take time, but let's see.
Yeah, yeah. Do it. Let's see what happens. Okay.
So you can see, hey, some interiors of Blata.
Oh, yes.
It's very and you talk about the story. It's very interesting because it's kind of sci-fi, but sci-fi, a kind of sci-fi, a kind of post-apo, a kind satirical. It's like to say when you
Yeah.
the story you, for example, you talk about your works with Joshua Dysart. You like to
Yes.
do entertaining story, but with message, political
See.
stories to philosophical story. It's the same.
See.
I think it's the same. It's the same. It's the thing for Blata, and for Blata, you all do all the stuff. You write the story, you draw the story, you draw the comics, and it's very interesting. And of course, it's not. Yeah, and we can feel it by seeing the cover, seeing the interiors. It's not feeling good comics. It's not a woohoo.
No,
Not
not at
like that.
all.
But it's
Well,
sometimes good. Sometimes it's good to see comics, to read books, to see movies like that. Well, for example, it reminds me of for this kind of, but it's different. For example, I really love lots of different comic artists. But for example, I like for the recent Zoe Good, but the work of Zoe is not it's not fun, huh? The work of Zoe.
well,
But
actually, it is not optimistic book, but the goal is to create a reaction in the
yeah,
reader.
to affect
So, yeah, I mean,
feelings.
for me, a book has to, in some way, a good book for me as a reader must disturb me a bit. I mean, disturb me in the meaning that I find myself thinking and thinking about what I just read, because in some way something in my mind changed. It's like when I used to talk about the meaning of art. Art has to give you questions. So thanks to these new questions, you go ahead in your life and try to change something in your life, to improve something in your life. This book talks about choices, the responsibility of making choices, uh, the the responsibility of building your own life in the best way as possible without being passive too much. So yeah, it's not optimistic, but at the same time it is optimistic because when you close the book, you just want to live. You know what I mean? You just want to try to do something for your life. This is my goal, of course. I don't know if it works or not, but it's important that people have some reaction. So every book I draw or like this or the ones with Joshua is important to me because of that, because it has a message and has also some new questions for the people. Sometimes people don't like this, but it's okay. I mean, this is a personal taste. I hope people understand what I'm trying to do here.
Okay, and we are gonna travel travel in time, Back to the Future, as
Yeah.
with
Wow,
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
wow.
This is also Starlight. Yeah.
Starlight.
Wow.
It reminds the cinquième élément, the fifth element of Luc Besson, who work with Moebius, of course.
Jean-Luc
Yeah.
Messier aussi, hein. Et aussi,
Yeah.
Jean-Luc Messier, tout. Jean-Luc Messier,
Yeah,
Oh,
sci-fi.
yeah.
The sci-fi
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, the sci-fi guy.
I, I, Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's a mix of different
Yeah,
things that I like, that I love.
amazing.
I I also love black exploitation, so the movies from the 70s where a lot of black actors, etc. So I try to mix everything. It's like a 70s, how do you say, a film about police
You have
and
a new
thief.
fan. You
Yeah,
have a new fan. I discovered you. You have a new fan. I love your book. Really, really.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I analyzing each pages. Wow. Sorry.
No, no, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I will always try to mix different things in my work. I like to work that way, to try to find something different every time, something new every time. I don't know if it works or not, but for me, it's funny to work like that because to invent, to build words, it's something really fascinating for me as
Yeah, it's a creativity. It's creativity.
Yeah.
yes, yes,
So, and after before the last questions, I will I
yeah,
will I will show an image of. I know you don't like superheroes, but your
it's
Batman.
okay.
I was joking. Batman, your Batman is cool. It was cool. Your Batman.
Yeah, this one is not mine anyway.
I'm wrong. Sorry, but I saw
No worry, no worry, no
I saw
worry.
about the two books I saw some interiors. Oh, it was cool. It
No,
was cool.
it's okay. I'm joking, but anyway, I don't hate superheroes. It's just something that don't. I'm not fascinated as an artist. I mean, I don't really. It's okay to draw them. I mean, but it's not my final goal. It's just a matter of taste, you know. But I don't hate superhero because even superheroes can tell important stories. I mean, of course. I mean, Watchmen is an amazing book, but it's about superhero, but actually is something really political, something really about society, etc. Dark Knight from Frank Miller is the same, and a lot of new books are in this direction. So it's okay. It's okay. I mean, whatever you want to draw or to tell is okay. The only things that is important is the meaning of your story. I mean, if you want to tell something, tell in the form you prefer. It's okay, no matter what the form you choose.
Okay. And what are your interests or passions in life?
Oh my God.
Things, things, drawing, art,
Okay.
but you can develop. You can develop.
I like music. I like combat sports. I like movies. I like to read the books. I like to travel. I like, I don't know, I like to be surprised. So, yeah, I mean, everything. Sometimes I have big passions for 3 days and then they disappear. Sometimes I have the passion for insects. And so I study everything about insects and then I stop it suddenly after 3, 4 days, or I don't know about plants, about food, about wines, about whiskey, and you know I am really rapid interested that where I just read everything about that and I try to find any news and then I change it. But my real big passions are this: I mean, movies, books, music. Combat sports, some sports in general, the extreme sports. I don't know, whatever. I mean, life. You know, it's not just comics, but uh, I, I don't like to concentrate just in one passion. Be- I don't know, maybe because I have multiple personalities, but every day I find myself interested in something different. I, I think everybody is like this. I mean, it's important to change, you know. Yeah,
Of course.
yeah,
Not
exactly.
saturation is minor.
Bravo, exactly. Not saturation. You have to change, to
Yeah.
clean your mind with
Your
something
mind
new
enough.
every time.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, exactly.
And and
The culture,
last
culture.
last question.
That's culture.
Oh,
Ah,
I don't follow any soccer. I'm sorry. I'm not a supporter. Yeah, this is my limit. I don't know
Okay.
why. I don't know why, really. It's crazy. I'm Italian, blah blah blah, but I don't like culture.
Okay. That's great to know.
Let's go. So if people want to comment or ask another question, it's time now. You have few minutes, and after we're gone. So, who
Would
would
that to collaborate
like to collaborate with?
Oh
Retour.
man, oh this is too hard to answer. Wow. Well, if I well, of course Moebius probably. I mean, is a
Jean
genius.
Giraud, Moebius, called
Yes,
Jean
yes.
Giraud, Gir, Moebius.
Moebius. But
Multiple
multiple.
possibilities.
No, Moebius. But no,
Yes.
Jean Giraud is interesting. I mean, I love Blueberry, etc. But
It's more
the science fiction psychedelic
yes.
version of Moebius is my favorite. Also, Drouillet, yeah, would be awesome to work with them. But I mean, yeah, it's just a dream, of course. But also, Winston McKay from Little Nemo, I think he was a genius. I mean, this is one of my really favorite comics ever, because it was at the beginning of the 20th century. But his stories are crazy. I mean,
Comic strip with Alex Raymond, Flash Gordon. Same.
crazy stuff. Really, really interesting.
Same
Really original. Really, wow.
Caniff, Milton Caniff, Alex Raymond.
Milton Caniff, Alex Raymond. Yeah,
Caniff is
absolutely. I
of
mean,
all. It's the base of Breccia of all the welcome
exactly,
Martin
exactly.
Martin Caniff.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand that. Yeah, yeah, he's a genius. I mean, too many, as usual, too many.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you, Alberto. It was a pleasure to discuss with you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your interview. Thank you for having me. Yeah, really,
It's
big
a
pleasure.
And thank you to the viewers. And if you can't, if you have not just the chance, the luck to see the interview, you can see more today, these days, because it's new diffusion after that, of course. It's live now, but after it will be converted automatically to classical video, so you can see the interview in the time you want, whatever you want, in few days, in few weeks. So, merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Merci à
very
vous.
much. Grazie mille.
Grazie mille.
Oh.
Grazie mille.
Grazie a voi.
We're gonna finish the stream. So take care of you, and
You too.